So hello, now let us start. Most important organelle known as mitochondria. You have seen the structure. Double membrane, and containing fold inside it. Okay, see, mitochondria, it is called the powerhouse of the cell. The energy produced here in mitochondria, because of metabolic reaction, energy is produced in the mitochondria. Whatever energy that you feel, it is because of mitochondria. Energy is released in the form of ATP. In the form of ATP. What do you mean by ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. 3 atom of phosphate and its acid is known as ATP. Means energy is in the form of ATP, so you can say that ATP is the energy currency of the cell. You can write ATP is known as energy currency of the cell. Okay, now when ATP releases energy, then some energy is used by the body, and so ATP converts into ADP. That means when body uses energy, then ATP converts into ADP. ADP means adenosine diphosphate. 2 atom of phosphate is produced. Once again we eat the food, once again we gain the energy, then this 2 atom converts into 3 atom. ADP once again converts into ATP and stored into the mitochondria. Mitochondria, it has 2 membrane. It has 2 membrane. Outer membrane is porous, whereas the inner membrane is folded. Outer membrane is porous, whereas inner membrane is folded. Because of this fold, it increases the surface area. So it creates the large surface area for ATP. Fold creates large surface area. For ATP. Okay? It has their own DNA and ribosomes. This is the exceptional one than any other organelle. It has their own ribosomes and protein, and that's why you can write DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. It can able to make their own protein also. own protein. Okay, this is about mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. Energy is released in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, and it is known as energy. ATP is known as energy currency of the cell. Body uses the energy, and so ATP converts into ADP. Once again we gain the energy, then ADP converts into ATP. It has two membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. Outer membrane is porous so that the energy enters or loses, and the inner membrane is folded, and this folded creates the large surface area for ATP. So ATP, maximum ATP can store into this fold. It has their own ribosomes and DNA. Their DNA is different, ribosomes are also different. If ribosomes are different, then it can use to make their own protein, because function of ribosome is what? For synthesizing of protein. Now plastids, which are found only in plant cell. Rod-like structure, plastid. Different types of plastids are there. Mainly two types. Plastids. Okay? It is found only in plant cell. Plant cells, it's a rod-like structure. Two types are there, mainly two types. First is chromoplast and second is leucoplast. Chromoplast, it is colorful and it imparts color to the flower and leaves. It is colorful and imparts different color to flower. Okay? One sub part of this chromoplast is chloroplast. It's called the part of the chromoplast. It contains chlorophyll, and you know that the color of the chlorophyll is green, so it imparts green color to the leaves. Leucoplast, it's a colorless or called white. Okay, leucoplast is colorless or white, and the leucoplast stores starch, oil and protein. Function of leucoplast, it stores starch and oil means lipid and protein in the plant. Okay, again structure is like mitochondria. And that's why it has their own ribosomes and DNA. See, we see the different colorful flowers, and this different colors, it is because of these plastids. photosynthesis is done because of this chloroplast. Means what is the function of chloroplast? We can write here chloroplast is necessary for photosynthesis function. And the last topic of the cell organelle, last topic of your lesson also, is vacuole. You know that vacuole generally found in plants. In animals they are found very less and also in small amount. Vacuoles big in plant, small in animals. They are storage sac for solid and liquid contents, generally found in plants. In animal, found in small amount. And in small size, as for example amoeba. So vacuole is the storage sac. Sac means a bag, plus just like a plastic bag. It's a storage sacs for solid and liquid content. Storage sacs for solid and liquid content. It gives rigidity to the plant. It gives rigidity to the cell. Means cell becomes tight. Or called stout. Cell becomes tight and so branches remains erect. Branches, stem remains erect. Means it gives toughness, strength. We said that vacuole gives strength to the plant. Okay, somewhat strength. Now, in plants, they are found in large number. It occupies 50 to 90% of the space of the plant. And plant vacuole stores amino acid, sugar, organic acid, protein. Plant vacuoles stores amino acids, sugar, okay, some organic acid and some protein. And some proteins. In amoeba, animal like unicellular animal like amoeba, it has food vacuoles. In the food vacuole, it tries to grab the food. Food enter into the food vacuole, which contains some enzymes, and this enzyme digests the food. Whatever waste material produced, this waste material also capture in the another vacuoles. This vacuoles very closely, slowly and closely comes in with the plasma membrane of the amoeba. When it touches the membrane, then it's burst and waste material comes out, means diffusion. Because of the diffusion, waste material comes out. Okay, so these are the different organelles of cell, a typical cell, typical plant cell or typical animal cell. You have to learn it point wise, and that's why I write all these things point wise. So write it, learn it, exercise. In text question and exercise question and their answers will be uploaded by us in the material section. Okay, so you have to also write down this. You have to check this. That's it for the day. That's it for the lecture. Stay safe and enjoy.